a really lovely summer salad with tofu and quinoa and eggplants. And I know it doesn't sound like it's something you'd normally eat, but it's really easy to do and it's really healthy. I'm just going to start with toasting off my pine nuts. I always think it's really good to vary the ingredients in our diet because every ingredient is adding something new to your health. So I'm going to toast off some pine nuts here just until they're lightly golden. I'm dry frying them because I feel like pine nuts have enough natural oil in themselves. You can also put these in the oven and just let them toast in there and give the pan a little shake every now and then. So these are nice and golden, so I'm going to take them out of the pan because they will keep colouring otherwise. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of olive oil and my eggplants. Now eggplants love olive oil, or any oil in fact, they just absorb them. So if you are trying to be careful, you can always put them in the oven and they will cook, just brush both sides with a little bit of oil, put them in the oven and just until they're soft. Now I've used these Japanese eggplants. I love them purely because I think, number one, they're great portion control, but also I find them really lovely and sweet. I find them easier to cook with, they cook quicker, and they look beautiful in this dish. Got my eggplant frying, so I'm just going to whisk up a little bit of a dressing. A little bit of olive oil, a bit of lemon juice. I've got some ginger paste, so I'm going to add that in, and a little bit of sugar, which works really nicely with these flavours, especially with the tofu. It feels almost oriental. And a bit of salt. And just whisk this and just make sure the sugar is dissolved. So you can mix it and leave it and the sugar will just dissolve by itself. So delicious. It's really zingy and full of zest, and it's just going to bring all these flavours together. Just wait for my eggplant to cook. There's nothing worse than raw eggplant, which is just a bit rubbery and hard, so make sure they're perfectly yielding. They should take about 4 to 5 minutes each side. And what we have here is the quinoa. Now, I've cooked this already because it takes about 30 minutes to cook. All you do is you boil it. You boil it according to your packet instructions. And quinoa is an amazing grain. It's got the highest level of protein of any grain. And again, it's lovely to have different grains in your diet because I think we're quite reliant on wheat otherwise, which is not ideal. This is coming along nicely. I want the pieces to be really yielding, so I put my fork in and it's just soft and unctuous and goes all the way through. I might put these with the pine nuts and cook my tofu. So I'm using firm tofu, which is actually the only kind you can use in this dish. And it's just a really lovely protein to have, and it's nice to take a break from all the meats, especially as summer's here. So I'll just cook off some pieces of the tofu. And tofu doesn't really need much cooking, it's just to sort of warm them through. While that's cooking, I've got my quinoa, which we talked about earlier. So I might add, just while I'm here, some of that in. Some lettuce leaves. I've chosen some mixed baby lettuce again because it's quite easy to eat and it just feels lovely and summery. I think tofu is fantastic. It is a really lovely way to get your protein, but you do need to add a lot of flavour to that dressing or to that sauce. And here I'm getting that flavour in with the ginger dressing. So it does work, and it's actually quite nice when you have all these zingy dressing flavours to have something quite simple to contrast with it. Okay, so these are done. Just lightly browned. So in these go. And then my salad dressing. And this is just going to bring the whole thing together. Now, this is a warm salad. I quite like having warm salads, and they're a lot easier to digest, even in the summer. But having said that, you can make it, pack it, and take it to work because it's still going to retain the freshness. And that ginger really makes it feel fresh. Really lovely. Really appetizing. And very healthy. So there we have it, my beautiful summery quinoa, eggplant and tofu salad. Mmm.